of the family patterns that I had to break. One of the definitely very close connected family patterns. That's something that I struggled with very significantly. My mom was a mom who was completely selfless mom. She was home with us. I mean, she worked when she had to, here and there, but her preference was to be home with us to um, give us everything and anything that we needed in regards to her heart and soul. I mean, her heart and soul. So she was completely self sacrificing, um, to a point where, though, it was not necessarily very healthy for her.
Mm.
And my mother is the most nurturing and loving, caring, non-judgmental person I've ever met in my entire life. This woman, um, and I don't know what I would do without her. She's the most comforting and regulating person that exists in my universe. Um, but when I became a mom and tried to do it exactly the way that my mom did it, I struggled. It was really, really very hard for me. Of course, I wanted to be there for my kids, but being there full time for my kids was something that I struggled with, meaning a part time job would have been really good for me to kind of mix it up. Um, I did like to get my nails done every once in a while, just to get out of the house and buy something nice for myself to feel pretty and just kind of do the girl thing from time to time. My mom never did those things for herself.
Mm.
So I did feel guilty for feeling good about doing those things. I felt guilty that complete self sacrifice didn't work for me.
Mm.
Didn't feel like I was doing it right at all. So I struggled significantly with a lot of guilt for a really long time over, what my definition of a good mom is. And yeah, so I can completely, I can relate to that statement big time, the whole mom guilt piece. But I've worked really hard with it. I have really worked really hard with it. And one of the things I was going to mention before is what a beautiful feeling it is for me. And I think probably for all of us when we actively recognize that we're breaking an unhealthy ancestral, intergenerational, next generation up family pattern, that no longer serves us. Because a lot of what I share moving, I have very open dialogue with my daughter, Mia, about what it means to be a woman, what it means to be a mother, this particular space works for me. Um, so yeah, no, the guilt piece for sure. I hear you. I hear you with that. Not only with motherhood stuff, but also with things in general. I think as a woman and carrying traditions, I think we sometimes can feel guilty about not necessarily carrying particular traditions that have been long held for the family for many, many years, that no longer serve the social dynamic, let's say, or just how society does things anymore. It doesn't quite fit within our way of life. And there's guilt for not holding on to those kinds of traditions, at least in my opinion.
I agree. If you guys saw, I'm like just shaking my head. I'm nodding because I definitely resonate with all of that, and that is something that those who are mothers in the Indo-Caribbean or just Caribbean community totally resonate with too. I can still be a good mom and celebrate Christmas with my kids and not have to spend 3 days cooking. Like because back in the day, what did the village do? All the neighbors, everybody was cooking up I can actually enjoy Christmas. I don't have to spend spend all day in my kitchen to do that. And just to let go of the guilt or the shame or the stuff that comes with that because I'm not doing things the way things were done. That's another thing, family patterns, family pathology, like people just don't question things. You just do things the way they were done.